Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Good evening.
My name is Stefan. I'm a senior manager in this business. And what I would like to do tonight is go with you through the company history. I will ask some questions and then I will talk about the business side of our business. Can I see who's here for the first time today? Welcome, welcome. Good. Forever Living Products. Why join Forever Living Products? That's the first questions I would like to ask. Why is it important to have a plan B? And there's lots of plan Bs out there. It's important because unemployment is a constant threat. That animal that's called secure job died a long time ago. There is no such a thing as a secure job. Entire industry are downsizing. Imagine you would start a business selling fax machines. Wouldn't be very successful, would it? Stress is getting more and more. Petrol prices going up. Toll gates. Thanks, Jacob. They've done a survey in South Africa. If you would lose your stream of income for just 2 months, most people would be at the edge of bankruptcy. That's why it is important to have a plan B. Now, if you look at a plan B, there are certain criteria you should be looking at. Start off with, does your plan B that you're looking at have a proven management? Because that's why people pay millions of rands to buy a franchise, because you want a proven management system. Does your plan B have proven products? You could have awesome management system, you still wouldn't sell a lot of fax machines, would you? So it goes hand in hand. And thirdly, does it have a good compensation plan? Because that's what it's all about, Mula. Does it pay well? Now, what I would like to do today is go with you through those 3 criteria, obviously looking through my Forever Living glasses. Right. Proven management. We do $3 billion turnover per annum, and not Zim dollars, US dollars. So we're a huge company. We were founded in 1978, so we've been around the block a few times. We're not a fly-by-night. We are now 35 years old, and I was lucky enough to qualify for the 35th birthday celebration in Sardinia. So we have a proven track record. Our executive team has got over 300 years of network marketing experience. So I'm sure guys know what they're doing. And we're now in nearly 160 countries around the world. Why is that important? Because you can extend your business into 160 countries around the world. Now, when you got up this morning, did you think you would go somewhere where you would be told you could have an international business? So we're in 160 countries around the world. We also own Aloe Vera of America. We are the largest producer of aloe vera products. We grow about 80% of all aloe vera sold around the world. We own Aloe Vera of America. What happened was there were 4 doctors who developed a cold press stabilization system in America. And when they perfected it, good old Rex Morn bought the company. So we've got a worldwide patent. Nobody can stabilize the aloe vera the same way we do. We've got about 9.5 million distributors around the world. So 9.5 million people put their trust into our plan B for Forever Living Products. This is our nutraceutical factory. It's a state-of-the-art factory. If you go to discoverforever.com, there's a couple of video clips. You can actually look at the factory, what it looks like inside. We manufacture everything ourselves. We don't buy anything in. Everything is produced and manufactured by Forever Living Products. Proven products. We are vertically integrated. What does that mean? I'm sure you've bought a packet of ham. Have you ever looked at the kilo price? It's scary. But why is it so expensive? Because you've got the farmer who breeds the animal. He sells the animal to the abattoir. They do what they do best. They sell the meat to the butcher. The butcher makes the ham, sells it to a wholesaler. The wholesaler sells it to the retailer, and that's where we buy it. So you have at least 4 or 5 companies trying to make money on this poor packet of ham, and that's why it's so expensive. We don't do that. We are vertically integrated. We own the farms. We've got thousands and thousands of hectares of aloe vera. We harvest it ourselves. We produce it. We've got very strict quality controls in place. We produce the product, we distribute it, and we sell it. So in other words, you're actually buying this directly from the farm. Do you know that we still work on an exchange rate of 9 Rand 50 to the dollar? Now the dollar is what, 1060, 1070? The reason why we can do this is because we are vertically integrated. Very, very important. Right, let's talk about aloe vera. Now I'm in this business for a few years. And if you ask anybody, have you ever heard of aloe? Everybody in Africa knows aloe vera. But do we really know what it does? What it does, first of all, it creates a healthy digestive system. Aloe vera is antifungal, antibacterial, antiviral. So, first of all, it creates a healthy digestive system. Now let's have a look what that means. This is just an example of the digestive system, and we're going to have a look at the small intestine. Now this is what it looks like. But remember, this whole small intestine is only the size of your thumb. So now, these jobs here are called villi. It is their job to absorb nutrients. They're connected to the bloodstream outside the digestive system. The bloodstream takes the nutrients to the liver, and the liver does what it's supposed to do. Now, problem though is, due to our lifestyle, due to things we eat, fried food, deep fried food, processed food, herbicides and pesticides, all the outside influences, what happens is your digestive system starts to clog up until it looks like this. Now remember, this is only that size. If this is clogged up like this, how much space is there left for food actually to go through? Plus, if the villi is covered like this, you are not absorbing nutrients. When we were in Italy, we had lots of training, and Steve Hatchett said, if people say to you they're tired at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, they are not healthy. They're most probably not absorbing nutrients, because that's what the digestive system looks like. Right, now aloe vera being antifungal, antibacterial, antiviral, what it starts to do is it cleans your digestive system until it's absolutely squeaky clean, and now you can absorb nutrients. If you want to have a look at YouTube, there is a video called Aloe Guts. It explains exactly what the aloe vera does in your digestive system. So now, not only can you absorb food, you're now also absorbing the goodness of aloe, which contains over 200 active nutritional compounds, 20 minerals, 8 amino acids, and 12 different vitamins. Now your body can absorb all that goodness, and that's where all the energy comes from. So, thirdly, aloe vera boosts the immune system. So now, basically, aloe vera does 3 things. Number 1, it creates a healthy digestive system. It cleans the digestive system. Secondly, aloe vera repairs epithelial tissue. Now what is epithelial tissue? Anything hollow. Veins, lungs, skin, digestive system. When was the last time you dewormed yourself? Now parasites excrete toxins. Those toxins compromise the cell wall in the digestive system, and that's irritable bowel syndrome. And all these things that happen in your digestive system. Now aloe vera repairs the epithelial tissue. The cell wall is compromised and aloe vera repairs it. And thirdly, it boosts the immune system. Now we support an orphanage called Bochabello in Magaliesburg. 500 children who have fully blown AIDS. You know what a CD4 count is? CD4 count measures the immune system. In a healthy body you should have a CD4 count of 520. Those kids had way under 100. Now if you have a compromised immune system like this, you get the flu and you die. Your body cannot fight anything. Now we started giving the kids aloe last year in April. The CD4 count has doubled in 1 month. Doubled. There was a little 12-year-old girl, she's all these AIDS lesions around her mouth. Bleeding, pus et tos. She used the tooth gel, she drank the aloe, and she used the jelly. Those sores have disappeared within 4 days. That's the power of aloe. So, but aloe should be taken as a prevention. We're now getting into winter. People are starting to get sick. If you drink aloe, it will boost your immune system and you're less likely to get sick. That's why it is important to drink aloe. Right, let's have a look at proven products. You see we've got various seals down the bottom. We've got a halal certificate. We've got a kosher certificate. And we have a 30-day money-back guarantee. But most importantly is that seal there in the middle. We are certified by the Aloe Vera Science Council. What happened was in the early 80s, all the big manufacturers of aloe vera got together and they founded the Aloe Vera Science Council. All they do is they test aloe on its purity and consistency. Only if you have top quality and you're consistent will you be given that seal. We were the first company to receive that seal internationally, and today we're still the only company selling aloe vera products with that seal of approval. Very, very important. Okay. One of our newest products, RG+. Now, Dr. Murad discovered L-arginine and he won a Nobel Prize in Medicine for doing so. Now, he endorses our product and he says this is the purest product on the market containing L-arginine. What does it do? L-arginine goes into the bloodstream, it converts into nitric oxide. Nitric oxide relaxes the veins so they are more flexible, and nitric oxide has the ability of absorbing more oxygen. So in other words, you have more oxygenated blood flow, and that's where a lot of energy comes from. And it works, it is so powerful. If you give it to an athlete who's going to run a marathon and he drinks it 20 minutes before he runs, he will definitely feel the difference by drinking it once. Very powerful product. What does it do? It creates a healthy blood pressure. How does it do that? Because your veins are now more flexible. If you've got high blood pressure, they're able to open up. If you've got low blood pressure, they can shrink a bit. So they actually regulate the blood pressure. It's very good for the overall cardiovascular system. We've got a gentleman in Pretoria who's got a hereditary heart disease. He's had 2 heart attacks already. He says he can feel the definite difference. If he doesn't drink the RG+, he can feel he's getting chest pains. It boosts the immune system because it's aloe vera based. It's a very good immune booster. It helps with muscle growth because L-arginine is an amino acid. Amino acid is the building block of protein, in other words, muscle. So we've got a lot of clients who go to the gym to bulk up and they take the RG+ because it's absolutely organic and it has no side effects. It helps with bone and tissue repair. How does it do that? If you would cut your muscle, the only way the body can repair the muscle is by making more muscle. Containing an essential amino acid, it can turn that into muscle, and that's why it repairs tissue and muscle. It increases male sexual function. So ladies, you can buy it for your husband and you can tell him it's for his heart, you see. It helps with the fat and glucose metabolism. It actually reactivates the glucose receptors in your body. It's a very, very powerful product. And it's got anti-aging properties. Let's have a look at another product called Arctic Sea. And I'm sure you've seen advertisements on television. Omega-3, how important it is. It's good for the eyes, it's good for the brain. It dissolves settlements in your veins. Now, we used to call this cod liver oil, remember? When I grew up in Germany, my mother used to chase me down the passage with a spoon of that stuff. Fortunately, it was a 50-50, didn't always catch me. But nowadays, it's been put in a capsule. Now, you need to ask yourself, what does the liver do to the body? The liver metabolizes toxins. Now, why would anybody in his right mind use the liver and turn it into a supplement? Doesn't make sense. We don't. We only use the flesh of fish, mackerel, crayfish, lime oil, and olive oil. But We also only use fish from the Arctic Sea. That's why it's called Arctic Sea, because that's pretty much the last ocean that we haven't polluted yet. Very powerful product. Let's have a look at the arteries. Top left, that's what it should look like. Nice and smooth, even blood flow, no tears whatsoever. But what happens due to outside influence and because of lifestyle, we start having tiny little tears in the cell wall of the arteries. It's like a plumbing pipe. When the first root grows into a plumbing pipe, you are bound to have a problem. Same with the arteries. Now you have fatty deposits and cholesterol that can cling onto something. And they start clogging up your artery. And when the artery is fully clogged, that's when you have a problem. If your artery pops around your heart, that's when you have a heart attack. If it pops in your brain, that's when you have a stroke. Now we were talking about 3 products. Aloe vera, what does it do? One of the things it does, it repairs epithelial tissue. What is this? Epithelial tissue. Secondly, we were talking about the RG+, which makes your veins more flexible. In other words, if you have an obstruction, it can still open up a bit wider and still allow enough blood to go through. And thirdly, we're talking about the Arctic Sea, which can dissolve the settlements in your arteries. So with those 3 products, you're much less likely to have a heart attack or a stroke. And that's how our products are developed. They work together synergistically. Very important. Right. Let's have a look at the compensation plan. That's why we're all here. Mula. Free membership. We don't charge for membership. We don't have annual renewal fees. We don't do that. No risk. Not so sure about the no risk. The way we normally start the business is with a combo box. Now the Fast Start combo contains the best 12 selling items, and most of them are double. If you buy a Fast Start combo and you put it at home on the lounge table, and you beep around the corner every morning to see if the money's popping out, I've got bad news for you. That's not likely to happen. You actually will have to talk to somebody. But that's pretty much the only risk. Financial freedom. Isn't that what we're all after? Unfortunately, adults have mostly forgotten what that means, financial freedom, because we all put in that little box, and that's how life should be, and that's what it is. No, it isn't. There is much more to life. Health and wellness industry is the fastest growing and the biggest industry in the world. Did you know that a chicken only lives 30 days? From the minute it hatches until it ends up in a packet, 30 days. Cannot have the same nutritional value than a chicken that grows normally. So what happens is, number one, they're genetically modified, GM. They feed them growth stimulants, stress repellent, female hormones, antibiotics. Now I'm a German butcher. In Europe, you're not allowed to slaughter anything for human consumption if it has been medicated within 30 days, 60 days. A chicken only lives 30 days. So with every chicken you eat that has been grown that way, you eat stress repellent, growth hormone, antibiotics. Now, you're getting sick, you're going to the doctor, what you're likely to get? A course of antibiotics. They have done a test in Canada where they've taken chicken samples of leading supermarkets. They've taken a bacteria swab and they've tested it against 13 different antibiotics. The bacteria were fully resistant to 10 and partly resistant to 3. So you go to the doctor, you take antibiotics, and it's not going to do the trick. So that's the health and wellness industry. It's the fastest growing industry in the world. No auto shipment. With Forever, you actually buy what you need. You don't fill in a form and it comes every month. You place the order according to your customer's needs. And in international income. You can build this business in 160 countries around the world. And it actually goes automatic. Somebody in your downline has a cousin in America, signs them up, and they're in your team, and all of a sudden you're getting a check from America as soon as you become manager. 10 different ways of earning an income. Now let's have a look at that. We've got consumable products. So there is repeat business. Is there anybody in this room who brushes teeth occasionally? So tooth would be a good idea, wouldn't it? So we've got repeat business. We in the health and wellness industry. We're exclusive because we've got a worldwide patented stabilization system. The quality is guaranteed and we approved in 160 countries. Why is it important? Because if you want to import supplements, it has to go through the medical council. So if 160 medical council have approved our products, don't let anybody tell you it doesn't work. I mean, it can't be. It's not possible. Right. That's our compensation plan. Now, what is it we actually do? The company wants us to become a wholesaler. That's what this business is all about. You see here, we've got our own currency called case credit, CC. Why do we have our own currency? Because we're in 160 countries. I've signed up a lady in New Zealand, and I've asked her, how's business? She said, I've done $4,312. Means nothing to me. But when she said she's done her 4cc, I understood what she's talking about. That's why we have a common currency. And it also measures the size of our business. So now, the company wants us to become a wholesaler. So in other words, if you want to open a shoe shop, you go to a shoe manufacturer and say you want to become a wholesaler. Yeah, no problem, you fill in the forms. How many shoes would you like to order? 2 pairs. What do you think they're going to tell you? You're not a wholesaler buying 2 pairs of shoes. And we are exactly the same. Now, you've placed your first wholesale order with the company you paid the registration form, which we normally use one of the combos, and that's going to put you back 4,078 Rand. Did you all bring cash? No cash? Okay. There's different ways of doing this, and we're going to talk about this a bit later. Right. What does it mean that you're now a wholesaler? You first of all qualify for a 30% discount because you're now buying it at a wholesale price. Secondly, the company says to you, because you're a registered wholesaler, we'll give you a 5% bonus on top of it. So in other words, to your retail clients, you're now selling the products at a 43% markup, plus you're getting a 5% bonus on the 15th of the month. So, but that's not all of it. The company says, because you're now a registered wholesaler, we want you to bring other wholesalers to the system. Now we call those new wholesalers new distributor. Every time you bring somebody to the business with a 2 case credit order, the company will pay you 610 Rand within 10 days. So if you need money in a hurry, you sign up 10 people, you got 6,000 Rand. This example, you sign up 5 people, you're getting a bonus on top of it, that's 4,069 Rand, that's not so shabby. Now how difficult can it be to find 5 people in 10 million people Johannesburg who want to earn extra income? This is the most powerful business. Right, this is what our marketing looks like, our marketing plan. And all network marketing plans look exactly like this. You start from the bottom, you work your way up. Now I want to explain to you where and why we are different. But what is network marketing? Let's have a look at that. Network marketing does group point accumulation. What does that mean? Let's say you want to build a team in 3 different areas. Network marketing is nothing else but a group of people who use the product themselves, sell a little bit to their friends and family, and then introduce other people to the same system. Bonuses are paid on the total volume moved. That's what network marketing is. Remember that movie Avatar? When Avatar came out, and it was everywhere, on television, wherever, I thought, I'm not going to watch this, it's a children's movie. When my friend said, have you seen Avatar? I said, I'm not going to watch that. He says, you must see it, it's absolutely phenomenal. I went to watch it, and I think I've seen it 20 times ever since. Because it was recommended to me, and that's what network marketing does. It's mouth-to-mouth advertising. Okay, now let's have a look how this works practically. You build teams in different areas. Every time somebody there sells a 2-cell or a yellow bottle, the point value counts towards your team because that's what we do. in a group. The monies are paid into your bank account on the 15th of the month. But where we are different to any other network marketing company that I've seen, we add 2 months together. So in other words, if you want to become a supervisor, you and your team need to generate a business volume of 25 case credits. But here you can do 10 case credits this month, you can 15 case credits next month, that's 25 case credits and you'll be a supervisor. This is the reason why we grow nearly twice as fast than any other network marketing company that I've ever looked at. Purely because we add 2 months together. But what we also do, in forever, you will never be demoted. If you reach a level, there's only one way, and that's up. Most other network marketing companies, if you come up, if your volume drops, so will your bonus, your percentage. We don't do that. Once you have reached a level, you can never be demoted. Now let's say you work hard for 4 or 5 months, you become an assistant manager, and you now qualify for a 13% bonus. Next month, your whole team only did 1 case. You will still be paid 13% because you can never be demoted. Very, very important. Can you imagine the roller coaster that you would have to go through if you go up and down in a marketing plan? We don't do that. I'll give you an example. There's a lady in KwaZulu-Natal, her name is Ross. She signed up in '93 when the business came to South Africa. She worked for a while and then she quit. 10 years later, our managing director phoned her and said, Ms. Ross, I'll phone you from a company called Forever Living Products. She said, no, I'm not interested, I've done that, doesn't work. He said, no, I'm not phoning you to sign you up. I'm phoning you, I'm the MD of the company. I'm phoning you to tell you that the people you signed up went and built this huge team in South Africa. Basically, nearly everybody in South Africa is in your team. You need to re-qualify, there's certain criteria, and then you're getting a nice bonus. I believe her first bonus was over 80,000 rand. Now you tell me how many companies would have made that phone call. And that's why I'm in Forever, because there's trust and there's honesty, integrity. Right. And nobody can overtake you until you reach manager level. That's basically the marketing plan. We want you to become manager as quickly as possible. Why? What happens as a manager? You're still getting a 30% discount because you are still a wholesaler. But now remember, instead of 5%, you're now getting 18%. So in other words, as a manager, what you use yourself, 30 plus 18 is nearly 50. So what you buy for yourself, you're getting half price. Now, your retail client, you're now selling it at a 43% markup, plus you're getting an 18% bonus. That's why we earn so much money. But now as a manager, you obviously have a team. If you as a manager bring people into Forever and you bring new wholesalers into the team, you're not getting 610 Rand anymore, you're now getting 1,200 Rand. Now the same 10 people that you sign up as a manager, you're now earning 12,000 Rand. That alone is reason enough to become a manager. But now you have a team. See, the company only pays 18%. We're sharing it. So, how does that work? From your assistant supervisors, they're getting 5% bonus first. You get the balance. So for every assistant supervisor that you have in your team, you're earning 13%. Imagine you have 20 assistant supervisors. That's the power of Forever. Now, your supervisors grow, their assistant supervisors become supervisors. They're now getting the first increase, they're now earning 8%. You're still getting the balance of 10%. The percentage is slightly slower, but the volume is higher, so you're earning more money. As assistant managers, an assistant manager earns 13%, you get the balance 5%. And that's the team bonus that you earn as a manager. Now what do you think? The only thing that the company requires from us in order to qualify for all these bonuses is maintain a wholesale business. Just like the shoe shop. If you're now starting to buy 1 or 2 pairs of shoes, they're also going to say you're not a wholesaler anymore. Exactly the same. It's like every other business out there. Now, what do you think you can earn as a manager? At the manager status, that's where most people start doing it full time. As a manager, you're looking at a monthly income between 10 and 30,000 rand. That's not so shabby. That's a serious extra income. That's where most people start doing it full time. But now, what happens if you produce a manager? Remember, I said we're sharing 80%. Now, this is the ladder of success from an assistant supervisor all to centurion diamond. So what happens if you produce a manager? Because remember, now your downline manager gets 18%. There's nothing left for you. Now the company says, we have an earned incentive bonus. How does that work? Now this is you. You're now starting, you develop a manager, your first generation manager. Now the company says, for as long as your business exists, we will pay you 6% of its total business's turnover. That is passive income. That's what I'm after. I like the money you don't have to work for anymore. Now this manager will develop a manager. Now the company says that your second generation, we will pay you a 3% bonus on his total business turnover. And in the third generation, you're now getting 2%. So for 3 generations, the company will pay you a passive income. And we're only talking about one manager under another. We're not talking, this manager could have 5. We're just talking about one under the other. Now what do you think a leg like this can earn you? We're now looking at another 10 to 20,000 rand. Just from one leg. And that's why the earning potential in forever is so phenomenal. Now what would happen if you had 5 managers? Now you're looking at 80,000 rand. And as soon as you become a sapphire, you're now getting a 1% increase. You're not getting 6, 3 and 2 anymore. You're now getting 7, 4 and 3. Now you're looking at 200,000. When Sana signed up, the first thing she did, she bought car magnets for her car. Forever Living Products, independent distributor. She used to do her meetings at Broomer Lake McDonald. Now she drives in, has an appointment, and this black dude comes and says, oh, Forever Living Products, can I join your team? Now you can imagine she just signed up. That was excitement galore. They went inside, she started with a one-on-one book, and then this man says, you don't recognize me, do you? He says, no. He says, well, my name is Siabongo Masondo. I'm a sapphire manager in our business, and I just wanted to see what you're doing. And then his phone beeped, and he got paid. How much was it?
209,000 rand.
209,000 rand. Siabongo Masondo signed up when he was 20 years old. And he came here a few weeks ago to give his testimonial. He never finished school. He left school standard 8. He said, I don't need this rubbish. Then he signed up for Forever. He was a manager in 5 months. And before he was 30, he was earning 200,000 in a month. Not so shabby. And if Siabongo can do this, everybody can do this. Right. What happens if you have 25 managers in your direct downline? You're now considered a diamond. 750,000 rand. Now our upline diamond from the UK, Jane Leach and John Curtis, they have over 40 managers. They earn much more than that. And Jane was a farm worker when she started. The power of this business is unbelievable. But that's not all. On top of the earnings that you can have here in Forever Living, we have what we call the car plan, an earned incentive bonus. If you and your team generate 50 cases in 1 month, remember, to become a manager you need to do 60 anyway, so that's in the bag. 100 the second and 150 the third month, you qualify for the car plan. And the company will pay you 3,800 rand for 36 months on top of what you earn. Now how many companies out there do still have a car incentive? Doesn't exist anymore. Here, you can use this money for a car, you can use it for education, you can use it for a bond. The choice is yours. And there's a level 2 and a level 3. So up to 7,600 Rand for 36 months. But the beautiful thing on it is, once you have a team that generates that sort of turnover, you will generate it every month. It will go up. So you re-qualify every month. So this actually does not stop. That's not so shabby. Let's have a look at the people who drive a car paid for by Forever. And that's just an example. Top right, Eric and Sylvia Panga, Diamond Sapphires. Eric was a salesman and Sylvia was a teacher when they started. Today, they earn good money. I'll show you some just now. Tabani Nombuso Bayela, they are also Diamond Sapphires. Tabani was a security guard. His dad chased him out of school, standard 7. He says, we don't need this crap. We need food on the table. You go and work. He gave us a story at Success Day. Today he's a Diamond Sapphire and he earns serious money. He's a millionaire. Okay, next. Top left, that's Siyabongo Masondo. All these people drive a car paid for by Forever. Enos and Luki Machete. Then there's travel incentives. With Forever you can travel the world. And here we've got a profit share. The company also pays a profit share check. Now, who here still works for Bus John? Anybody who works for Bus John? Do you get a nice Christmas bonus every year? No. Most companies can't afford to. Now, Eric and Sylvia's check, they're now 14 years in the business, 242,000 US dollars. That's nearly 2.5 million Rand. But what impresses me so much is not the 2.5 million. What impresses me was, you can see this was in 2013. In 2011, his bonus check was 16,000 US dollars. 160,000 Rand, it's not shabby either. The following year, it was $84,000. So that means he has 5-folded his income in 1 year. And the following year, he tripled it again to 242,000 US dollars. When was the last time you got a 2.5 million Rand profit share check or Christmas bonus? And here, you can do this. In Forever, there's only one thing that is important. Never, ever give up. It's a business. You just got to keep going. Okay. There's just some example. That's John and Jane Leach, 759,000 US dollars. Last year, the highest profit share check, obviously was from a German, was over 1 million US dollars. That's 10 million Rand. Now that helps the shopping. Okay. There's some checks from South Africa. Tabani, 230,000 and Eric, 242. Now what impresses me so much in this business is you can will it to your children. Don't we all say we want our kids to have it easier? Not me. So you can will it to your children. There's a lady in, I think it was Norway, unfortunately she died of cancer. She left the business to her 3 children. The one son is running the business, but all 3 of them, they're earning 50,000 euros a month each from that business. That's 500,000 Rand. That's not so shabby. So, let's have a look at the 3 criteria. Proven management. I'm sure we've nailed it. $3 billion turnover, 35 years old. Proven products. Doctors recommend our products. We have products with an EPI code, so medical aid can pay for it. And proven compensation plan with overseas travel, 13th check, and the bonus is 10 ways of earning income. Now, do you know anybody who could benefit from our products? Blood pressure, diabetes, no energy. Never mind AIDS, cancer, TB, and all the big ones. We're going into winter. People need to boost their immune system. So do you know anybody who could do with our products? Do you actually know anybody who's 100% healthy? I only know one person. She's in my team. She's 32 years old. She does the Ironman every year. She owns a boxing gym. She's pretty healthy. But other than that, I don't know anybody else. So we have a huge market out there. Do you know anybody who could use an extra income? And it doesn't matter what you earn. Unfortunately, overheads, they sort of adjust themselves to our income. Everybody can do with an extra income. And the most beautiful thing here is once you have built this business, it will pay you for life. That's why this is so powerful. If the answer is yes, there's only one option. You've got to do this business. And I'm sure we can find an application form or two if you need one. How do you start? You've got to sign up now. You've got to place your first wholesale order, 2 cash credits. You need to start using the product because you can't recommend anything that you don't know what it's like. If you're in a butchery, you're not going to go to the supermarket and buy meat, do you? So you use your own products. You need to have a good learning attitude. Why do we say that? We all make mistakes. We don't want you to make the same mistakes. It just would slow down your growth. So if we say, don't do it, don't. It's probably not going to work because we've tried it. That's why you need to have a good learning attitude. Prepare for discouragement. You're most likely to come home and your friends and family are going to say, you signed up for what? Are you mad? Those things never work. You know what? There are thousands of people in South Africa who made this work pretty nice. You've got to understand. Here's your neighbor, you live here. Your neighbor got no money, can't pay his bills. You live here, you got no money, you can't pay your bills. The world is okay. He can't have you now all of a sudden successful. You gotta, if people give you clever advice, you need to look how successful they have been in their lives. Because unfortunately, most people who've never achieved anything, they offer free advice very quickly. So you got to look who gives you that advice. Listen to the people who have been successful. They're probably going to say, that's a good idea, look at the marketing plan, go for it. That's the people you should be listening to. Schedule your first home meeting. That's why I said there is many ways of skinning a cat. Not everybody's got 4,100 Rand. That's why we're here. But you don't need to. You organize what we call a product launch. This is a business presentation. A product launch, the person who brought you here will come, will show some product, bring some samples, you can smell it, you can sniff it, you can smear it, you can smoke it if you like. And we will sell a product to your guests. And we use that money to sign you up. Our good old friend, Joseph. Joseph lives overseas. Benoni. He organized a product launch. Son and I went to the product launch. He had invited 24 people, 18 people came. We sold in 1.5 hours 6,000 Rands worth of products, and he had 2 new distributors. He put 2.5 grand in his pocket. Now that's the way to start this business. And he did not have to cough up any money. It was generated from his client. Now, you tell me how many businesses are out there where you have that earning potential and you actually don't have to pay for it. You just need to want it bad enough. That's all it is. Sometimes I wish it would be more expensive and people would take it serious. This is the best opportunity I've ever come across. Right. Lifestyle. That's what this is all about. Now let's talk about 1 or 2 products. One thing I would like to talk about is this. Now we start with the yellow one. 98.5% pure aloe vera. Cold pressed, stabilized. Nothing synthetic in here. The preservatives are all of natural origin. Even the sodium benzoate comes from fruit. Now, you want to boost your immune system? You want to have more energy? This is the bottle you should be drinking, and every morning. And all it takes is a cap in the morning and a cap at night, 30 milliliters. Right, then we have the berry nectar. What we've done, we've taken some aloe out, we replaced it with berry juice and apple juice. Very strong antioxidants, very good for the upper respiratory system, the lungs, very good for the urinary tract. and also very good for the skin. Then we've got the Bits and Peaches, which is mainly made for children. It's very sweet and it's also good for the skin. And then my favorite is the Forever Freedom. Freedom is aloe vera plus MSM, chondroitin and glucosamine. Very powerful for any issues with joints. I'll tell you a story. We've got a lady here. She has got hereditary osteoarthritis. You know Dr. Google? In the old days we went to university, today we ask Dr. Google. She went to Dr. Google and said, what can I take for arthritis? And Dr. Google said, drink aloe. She then Googled aloe vera companies and she found our company in America and sent them an email and said, I've got hereditary osteoarthritis, what can I take? And how can I get hold of the products? And then they gave her my number and I lived 2 kilometers from her work. When I met her for the first time, I could see she's in pain. She's a PA, the fingers wouldn't do it so easy anymore, and she was in pain. I sold her a bottle. 3 days later, she phoned me, she said, want another bottle? I said, honey, you're not supposed to drink it that fast. She says, no, it's not for me. I don't know what's in that stuff, but it really works. I need a bottle for my sister. She bought a bottle for her sister. They then bought a bottle for their brother in Portugal who had the same problem. They all three became distributors because they said people need to know about this bottle. Very, very powerful drink. Now, I want to talk to you about ImmuBlend, a pretty new product, absolutely fantastic. In the team, we had a couple of sniffy noses and, you know, starting flu symptoms. This ImmuBlend is absolutely fantastic. If you, I promise you, you take 2 ImmuBlend 3 times a day, and those flu symptoms will disappear very quickly. It's an awesome immune booster, which also works very well for HIV and cancer and all other autoimmune issues. Very, very powerful. So, my favorite, tooth gel. Have you ever read the small print on a tooth gel box? It says they're not for the use of children under the age of 5, if swallowed, consult doctor. Why is that? Because it contains fluoride. And fluoride is poisonous. A dentist wouldn't agree with me, and probably the fluoride that you find in nature is not poisonous. But you know, where the fluoride comes from, that is in our tooth gel. It's a byproduct from making fertilizers. That's what you're putting in your mouth. You know what is the main ingredient in rat poison? It's fluoride. Now, our tooth gel is only aloe vera, bee propolis, and mint, but also has a side effect. It fixes bleeding gums, it fixes receding gums, it's safe to swallow, and if you have any infection, in Italy I got bitten by a spider. You could see the 2 holes and it started to go fire red immediately. I put the tooth gel on and the next morning it was gone. Because the mint draws out all the gum. The bee propolis is a natural antibiotic, and then you've got the healing power of aloe. Absolutely fantastic. And then here we've got this little jobby, lip ice. I'm sure you've used lip ice before. Have you noticed that the more lip ice you're putting on your lips, the drier your lips get? Because most of them contain eucalyptus. Eucalyptus evaporates. Now you use our lip ice, it will go into your lips, it will nourish the lips from the inside, and after 2-3 days you most probably don't have to use it anymore. Fever blisters will disappear within 48 hours. You can put this on a mozzie bite and the itch stops immediately. They say you can even use this for hemorrhoids or piles, but then when you've got cracked lips you need to buy another one because you can't turn it. Here we go. So the products are absolutely fantastic. Now, any questions? No questions? No questions? Okay. Thank you very much, guys. I hope you make the right decision and you start joining the business and you start changing your life. Thanks very much.